this is exciting, Amaya, because we met, I would say, 5-6 years ago?
2020 was actually.
Okay. Oh.
3 years ago.
So,
Yeah.
oh, it's only 3 years ago. Dang, okay. And at that time, and how old are you now, Amaya?
23.
23. And at that, so what are you currently doing right now?
Right now, I have a social media agency.
Oh.
So we mainly focus on creating content for businesses. That's more of that lifestyle content that people don't see as an ad, but it really is selling a product or a service or an event for their business.
Okay. And how?
The audio is actually bad because there's music. And
Okay.
Everything is getting picked up right now. I'm not recording.
Oh, not yet? Okay.
Yep.
Amaya, how long ago have we met?
We met in 2020.
So about 3 years ago.
Yes.
How's your business doing right now?
So much better than it was when I first started,
Yep.
but it's doing really, really great. It's been a lot of years of figuring things out, testing new things,
Okay.
but yeah, it's been doing great.
So tell us some exciting thing that just happened to you on your social media.
My personal brand, I was able to blow up. I had over 6 million views there.
Okay.
I feel like I've really been able to target what can go viral and create the community that will go along with the viral videos.
Nice.
But yeah, I've been able to do that for myself, my personal brand, my business, and along with all of my clients.
Okay. And how old are you now?
23.
Okay.
Just turned 23 yesterday.
And you recently was just on what? Some kind of a magazine or what?
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal. So
Okay.
they covered me because they wanted to see more about this new job, basically, that
Yep.
people are starting to go after when it comes to content. What they kind of went about it was that aspiring content creators themselves are kind of stepping away and creating businesses to have other people get that be viral,
Right.
be able to start gaining followers, making money through social media. Rather than doing it as a personal brand, I'm more so focused on doing it for businesses.
Okay. Now 3 years ago when we first met, how much were you making at that time?
At that time, I mean, the whole entire time, it's never been about money for me, but at that time, I was probably only making like $500 a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much are you making now?
Now I'm making around $50,000 every single month.
Okay, so we really need to break this down, and I'm sure Lon's got some question for you regarding that. So maybe you pass the mic to Lon.
I don't have the question yet. I don't know.
Well, okay, I think what it is kind of like break down your business of how that actually work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically what we do is social media content creation and management.
Okay.
I really love doing it for events. So even where we're at right now, it's really marketing the experience is something that's really fun for me to do. But basically businesses come to us, product-based, service-based, or event-based. They say, we don't really know what to do on social media, it's not working just posting ads, or this is not working, what can you do for us? We curate that social media strategy, we create the content, we create that whole plan for them, we make the content, we have models, we pick the set, we do everything. I do all video and all photo. I have a team that also as well helps and does it as well. And then from there, we deliver their content, they see the results, and we just keep going month after month, and they're on probably a 6-month plan with us that they just reap the benefits over time and see how it works for them.
Gotcha, okay. And how many clients do you have right now?
Right now, we have about 4. So just with like minimal clients, this is something I've been able to do as well, is not have at that time, I was probably even having like 10 clients and really just bouncing everywhere because of a low price point. But as I've been able to grow, I've been able to make it to where I only have about 4 and be able to make $50,000, have 10,000 plans per each of them or more. And then be able to just grow their accounts, really focus on their accounts, and then grow our team as well as we continue to grow.
So you're more focused on like quality instead of quantity? Like focus
Sometimes.
on less clients?
Oh, yes. When it comes to clients, definitely.
Yeah. Instead
Yeah.
of like having a bunch charge low, but getting a bunch comes in that are not committed or doing what it is that they're
so
supposed to
smart.
do on
Yeah.
their end.
Yeah.
So you rather go high ticket, get less in, but they're more quality.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
And they're more committed.
Yeah, and people who are paying like $2,000 for social media management or even content creation, I find that those people aren't, like you said, as committed, like their money isn't really into it. But when you're doing a high offer, and I also have, like with our TikTok bundle, we'll make them 20 to 25 videos every single month. So that's one video that they post every single weekday. So they're really getting their money's worth out of it because we're curating that content, like I said, making all of it, strategizing all of it, and then delivering a whole month's worth of content every single month.
So are you going after like small business owner?
When I first started, I was. Now I'm kind of growing out of that, and I really want to focus on bigger clients and bigger names, because those are the ones that, even like Sephora and McDonald's, all their social media is not good. I don't work with them, but their social media isn't good, and that's something I like to show on my TikTok, is how I would even improve them, because they're just posting graphics or they're just posting content that won't actually convert. And so by showing that, the bigger names out there will see my stuff and they'll say, oh, if you think you can do that for them, let's see what you can do for us, and then we just blow them up.
So you go after
helps
businesses that don't know how to actually post on social media or getting attention on social media. So basically, I look at it like a rehab project.
Yeah.
Right? So you go for the distress.
You take them from a zero to a hero.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
it's like a rehab product. Like they're so messed that you want to go in there and rehab their brand, redo everything, and then get them more attention organically.
Yeah.
Show them how it's done.
Yeah, so with one of our biggest clients, it's a trade show. It's a fashion trade show.
Okay.
They're called Magic, and they have about 6 shows every single year.
I go
Vegas, you do? Okay, so they're one of my biggest clients, so I do all of their social media. The first year that I did it was this year, and I just curated their social media, just creating content, walking up to people with a mic or just anything, just creating that kind of content. Now this coming year, they're bringing us on to do the management as well as the content creation. So I'm really into their account, and I'm able to strategize it a lot more and really be basically their whole entire brand image online and curating that entire brand image. So it's businesses like that would be more so my client, not like a mom and pop shop down the road, because
She's catching high-end companies. So they're willing to pay more for it.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
So how do you get, like let's say if you want to help someone like just to grow their content and stuff like that, what is your advice on it? Like grow their own personal branding, grow who they are to sell products and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So basically, Lon is in like the beauty niche. That's what she wants to get in. She wants to sell like hair strainers, beauty product, makeup, skincare, all of that. So what would your advice be for Lon?
I would say it's kind of the same thing with everybody, is creating that social media strategy. If you're working on TikTok, I would say figure out what your overall ideal brand is, like even yourself, like what you want to be seen as. If you want to be the educator, if you want to be inspiring, or if you want to be somebody who's just showing new products off and saying, oh, look at this, I found this. So really finding out like what your overall goal is there and breaking it down into 5 different content pillars. Like for me personally, a lot of people love when I do like self-care or like glow up or like things like that, because I got out of a bad breakup and now I'm glowed up and I'm doing all these big things. And they love hearing like how I went from that low level to high level woman. So I create one content pillar for that. I create one content pillar for talking about my business, so that it's not just when somebody comes to my account, they have 5 different areas that they can go and go binge watch. I would say that is something I do with every single one of my clients, so that they're able to really test what works. And even with those 5 content pillars, you make 5 videos in each. They can all be 5 different structures on how you make that video, whether that's you talking or it's just a video that is showing an aesthetic thing with text on it, you know? So you can really, really zone in and test and just post all those videos every single month, and then come back, see what worked, build on that content pillar, and keep going.
Okay. Thank you for the advice.
Yeah, of course.
Are you going to the Magic this February?
Yep.
I was thinking about it.
I'm going also, they have Miami in January.
Yeah.
So I'll be January, Miami, February's Vegas. Vegas is also, February they also have New York. So I'll be there, and then they have Nashville in April. So it's going to be travel, but they all have such a different, unique experience, and it's so much fun to go.
Yeah, so much fun. Yeah, I was thinking of going the one in Vegas, Khang. The Magic that we went before. Remember when we get all this shoes to sell for clothing online
Oh,
before?
yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking of going that. Do they have beauty now? I don't remember. It was so big, I don't remember.
No, I don't think that they do right now. It's more so like fashion accessories, shoes. They're adding new things like baby and home. So there's going to be a lot of new fun things
Okay.
that they're adding. So
Okay, that's awesome.
yeah.
Because before
Because
that,
we went like 10 years ago.
yeah.
Oh, really?
So
Oh,
the-
it's
when we had
huge now.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
insane
I know,
now.
I remember it take days and we wouldn't
Yeah.
even finish it.
Yeah, it's crazy how much, and they have like live performances and things like that. So it kind of makes it a little easier for me to be able to market that. But I just really sell that experience. And if you go on their social media, you can see anything from the experience to building an outfit, watching me build an outfit there. So people are like, oh, I want to go there and go shop and go buy that entire outfit that she just made
Yeah.
because I'm showing them how to shop while they're just watching the video and consuming the content.
Do you hire a cameraman to go to?
I have 2 girls on my team, and they basically both are content girls. So
Okay.
either and all of our content is filmed on a phone.
Okay.
So we'll have Rode mics and a phone. So we'll have high quality like sound, and the phones are great enough to have high quality video. So I'll have my girls come. Either we split up and all to create content, or somebody will film me and I'm recording either with the vendor and talking to them. So it's really a smaller team, and I feel like people, when they see very high quality content, especially on Instagram or TikTok, they know immediately it's an ad, or they know something, like it just triggers in their brain.
Yeah.
So creating that more so like lifestyle-y content has been best for them.
Yes, so lifestyle content, not like so much like before where
You mean
like
like-
everything's an ad
Wait,
like
wait,
on
wait.
TV.
Wait,
Now it's more lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, so Maya, dude, I got so much question for you. So do you think when it comes, let me get this out of the way before I forget.
Yeah.
So when you come in, you creating content, let's just say if you come in and you were to help launch, would you say production content is better or more
lifestyle?
like personal, like right there from her phone in her kitchen, like do you think that the high productions is better, or is it like her sitting in the car, or her in the kitchen, or her in her bedrooms doing
Yeah.
what's your take on that?
I think people want to see real. I think that's all they want to see. They want to see into your life. Like that's why the days and the lives and things like that are working, but a lot of people are making them. So it's kind of starting to shift a little bit there. But what works for us and at the events is just that real content in the moment. They raw. Yeah.
Right.
They
No.
Like raw stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, but I understand that. But my question is about production quality.
Yeah.
Do you think it matters when it comes to like selling high ticket? Like, so let's just say that let's just say you have a high ticket item that you want to sell, but your content is like either you're sitting in the car, you're in a house, you're in your kitchens. Like, to me, does that matter, or does it have to be like high productions? Because I look at it like, well, if I walk into Walmart, I'm not going to see Gucci.
Yeah.
If I walk into Gucci store, I'm going to see Walmart. But when it comes to like building a brand and versus selling different types of, low and then high product, do you think it matters?
I think it does. I think that you can do a good mixture of both of them, and then you test it yourself for your business and your niche. But what we've seen that works best for our clients is we'll do high quality photos. Like we'll have very high quality photos, and then we'll have photos that are taken on an iPhone in the moment, and those do the best. I don't know, like people,
I agree.
again, they just register in their brain high quality content, like that is an ad. And they don't want to see ads. When you go on YouTube, you press skip ad. When you go on your TV and you're watching TV, you fast forward the ads. You're getting to what you want to watch. If you can find a way to make your ad be more lifestyle and be more consumable, then people are going to sit and watch it longer, and they're going to not even realize that you're selling something.
Yeah.
I understand. Okay,
That's
but
so smart.
Yeah.
no, that's okay. So now I guess what I'm asking is that, so you're saying that the person that creating the content should have a mixture of high quality and just straight from the phone doing a selfie style.
Yeah, I definitely think so. If it's a brand and it's like your personal brand,
Right.
if you're gonna go on YouTube, like the iPhones are great enough to even vlog. Like you could even vlog on there.
Correct.
If you're doing a sit down video that is more professional, obviously I do think that having the high quality production is probably needed. But I mean, if you're just starting out, you're going to figure it out and you're going to see what your audience likes to see. And for me, people just want to see me sit my phone down and do a day in my life and show everything that I did in little snippets.
Right. So, but you don't think that will basically disqualify you from high ticket? Let's just say that let's say that you want to go after people where you're going to charge them like $10,000, right, to go in there and help them out. But all your videos like from your phone, Do you think that matters or it doesn't matter?
No, with my clients, I've seen that it does not matter and that they actually, like, say with a big event, like I was saying, they'll have photographers, they'll have videographers that they do hire on that are creating all of this insane, beautiful, high quality content. It doesn't convert. And with my content, it's converted. They've seen a 30% increase in their attendee rate just this past year, from one event to the other. And it is truly because of the social media and that push and that voice that we are having out there. People, like when they come around with cameras and they do all this, I see them go, okay, now like do a fake laugh and do smiles and ha ha ha. But with us, it's more so like raw. Yeah, people like want to see and be able to connect with the video rather than seeing people fake.
You are your brand. So basically, they love you for who you are, no matter what you sell. If they believe in the product and they see it, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's basically what she's saying. They have to like you for who you are, no matter what you do. Your lifestyle, raw content. They don't want to see, you know, like ads. Because over the years ago, we have so many ads where people recognize if it's an ad now.
Yeah.
So they skip it. They're like, oh, it's an ad. Move on.
Yeah. And it's getting harder with TikTok because I know you're showing me some things on TikTok with the TikTok shop. Some people are saying as soon as they see the link that says for commission, they're skipping it. So it's finding out ways, and I think that some people are still finding out ways where they're like, I'm not doing this for commission. I truly like it, or saying things in the beginning to like get people to be like more trustworthy that they don't just want money. And so it's just like figuring out different ways with marketing evolving. A lot of people are talking about the market next year and how people are going to do things, and I think it's crazy that people aren't taking social media more seriously in businesses as we grow as the world, like as new trends happen and new things. It's not about emails, it's not about SMS, it's really about getting in front of people at mass volumes, and you can really only do that on social media.
I actually have a brother that I think that you would be a perfect fit, but it's being able to get him on it because he just opened a new restaurant.
Oh, awesome! Yeah,
and I believe in social media fully. I mean, the only reason why your business is not growing because you don't have the attention. Once you have the attention, it's like how do you want to monetize it? Period.
Yeah.
Right. So now my next question to you is that when you take on a client, do you basically focus on a certain platform? Is it just TikTok, or do you be like, hey, I'm going to show you across all platforms?
Yeah, we only offer TikTok and Instagram. So if they come on and they're like, I only want to focus on Instagram. Yeah, if they're like, I just want to focus on Instagram, then we'll just do Instagram. If they just want TikTok, we'll do that. But majority of our clients will do them together. So they'll do their Instagram and TikTok because
together, so it's easy.
Yeah, very easy. TikTok is where you are going to reach millions of people on the For You page. There's no other platform like it as of right now. Instagram is where you build that community. So that's why we like to do only those two. LinkedIn is out. Facebook is out. We really want to focus on those two if you're trying to reach mainly that millennial, Gen Z specifically audience that I know so well, being Gen Z.
I totally agree. And I think that TikTok has like really, really mature up when way before that you see, but now I think a lot of like, 18s, mid 20s, even early 30s, a lot of them are on TikTok right now because the opportunity that they actually see on there, the amount of exposure that you get compared to putting in the effort, creating content to put on other social media platforms. And I think still today, I think a lot of people are underplaying TikTok.
Still,
where they're like, you know what, there's a bunch of kids on there.
Yeah.
On what to say?
Question for you. So let's say, how
It is
would
so
you
good.
teach someone to grow their brand? What would you do to help them grow their brand? Like get more gain more follower?
Yeah, I think mainly it's just that social media strategy. I think people are so invested in like themselves, like even with myself sometimes, I'm so in my company and I'm so like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I work? You just gotta push it. You just got to figure it out. You got to be able to test your own self, because I think it's easy for myself to look at a company and go, this is what you're doing wrong, because I'm not so involved in it and I'm not so invested in, I'm not thinking all these things, or what are other people going to think about me, which is what a lot of people think, I feel like.
Yourself out there.
Yeah, putting yourself.
Just post.
Yeah, just figuring out what is actually easy for you to post every day, because a lot of people will want to post something that actually isn't feasible for them to post once a week or even twice a week if that's their content pillars. So finding out pillars that actually fit in with your life, if that is what you want to do for a personal brand, then that is is just what you have to go out and you have to just keep pushing, keep getting those numbers. And even low videos, eventually you're going to learn from those and say, oh, I talked too slow in this part, or maybe I need to cut this part out because that's where all the views started falling out. It's really a numbers game at the end of the day. You have to figure out what is working, what isn't working, how to improve, and you just keep building upon that.
Okay. That's a great advice.
So Amaya, so when you take on clients, they have to make you a 6-month commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's new. When I first was starting, it was a month to month.
Okay.
So I was figuring out a lot of people would join in for a month.
Yep.
I'd kind of almost teach them a bunch of things.
Correct.
And then they're like, okay, great. We have now 20 videos, 25 videos. I'm not going to post them every day. And I'm going to just go and, post them over the time. And so I started realizing that's happening. And I want businesses who are actually committed and who actually want to see all the benefits of social media. You're not going to see that within a month. And you're not going to see it maybe even within 3 months. But within 6 months, I can guarantee you're going to see some results and you're going to be able to be like, okay, this is actually working for me. Yeah.
You want to ask something?
So let me ask you, how much are you charging right now for 6 months?
Yeah. So we do charge at a month-to-month basis, so it's not like a big commitment up front. You just have to sign a contract. But if you're doing full Instagram plus management, so we'll do all your content, everything. We charge anywhere from $10,000 for Instagram and TikTok full management, 10 to 15,000, really depends. Or we do have some smaller plans that are just content creation based. So with those, we'll be just Instagram. Say you'll get 30 photos, fully edited, ready to post. We'll have something for that, and 10 to 12 reels because that's something on Instagram. Or TikTok, our plan will just be 20 to 25 videos. So our plans really range from anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, $20,000 mark. So it really it's kind of like a built for you plan. And we really are very, very picky on who we have as a client, just because, we want people who are very serious and who really want to not only blow up, but build communities, and be able to really reap all the benefits of social media and all the work that we put into it too. Once we build your social media strategy at the end of those 6 months, you're going to reassign because you're going to be like, I see the results, I see this. Something as simple as one of our clients was a water bottle company. So it was just like this water bottle jug. And so having that brought and presented to me of make social media content, make them blow up for a water bottle was something that I was like, interesting. We're going to have to figure this one out and test and see different things. They had one whole entire deliverable, 20 to 25 videos. Collectively, that whole deliverable got them 11.1 million views in 1 month, just from me going on the street and having people touch the water bottle. I'd ask them questions, how much water are you drinking a day? Or which water bottle is your favorite? And they're interacting with the product, and people are like talking about it, like, saying things even about the person or saying things about the bottle that they saw. And then they're like, I need one so bad, because we're showing like a live demonstration of how to use the water bottle. So yeah, it got them 11.1 million views, and they made 6 figures within a week because of how many views they were getting. It was back to back, and it was just all organic, all authentic, no ad spend on any of their videos. So yeah, even a water bottle. It's just you have to really zone in on their community, who's watching, who's buying, what they are consuming, and kind of curate content that they would enjoy to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, like I truly believe that in today's and heading forward, how building a personal brand, being on social media, is just extremely important. It's almost like to the point where it's either make or break your business. Just because there's so much competition, you just need to stand out. And the thing is, that attention is the new currency and will be even more important.
Yeah.
I think
Upcoming years.
Yeah.
For sure.
The future.
Yeah.
You want to ask Amaya anything else, Lauren? But this podcast has got a lot out of it.
So basically, since you're on Khang's channel, if like any business want to get a hold of you, I want to make sure you get exposure. What are your business and how they contact you? Mike?
So my business name is Obtaining Social. So go find it there. My name is Amaya Dammy. So everything on my social medias is either Amaya Dammy for my personal or Obtaining Social. You can check out our website where you can fill out an inquiry form, learn more about our services, and see if it's for you. But we're looking for people who are really wanting to take social media seriously, product-based, service-based, events-based, all of that.
Awesome. And Amaya, I want to go on like a personal notes, because I think this is extremely important for Gen Z and people in the 18s to 20s. about, being able to get their priorities straight. And we were just talking about, your plan about settle down, having a family, having kids. What's your take on that about having kids early?
Yeah, I see a lot of people either having kids, getting engaged, getting married. I'm 23 and I can't believe that that's the new norm. I know that some people have different goals and different mindsets about it. But for me, I mean, I'm debt free, but maybe my boyfriend wouldn't be debt free. And we are more so on that path of, we want to join as a unit together. We're more of a traditional kind of couple where we think like, okay, if we're going to support each other, then we have to make sure we're good before we have kids or before we start a family or anything like that. I wouldn't want to raise a kid into a life of me being 23, living in an apartment currently. That's just not what I think is successful in my mind. But when I'm probably around 30 is probably when I'll be more settled, and he'll definitely have his career more settled down. But, that's only 30 years that you had to yourself, and the other 40, however long you live, are dedicated to a child. So I really want to make sure that if that is what I'm going to go down, and once I have kids, it's going to be, you're set, we're not struggling. I don't want my kid to come into a world where we're all struggling and figuring things out. I want to be more set up with my life. So definitely, I would wait, even though I didn't even go to college. Like, it's things like that where it's like everyone has their own goals, everyone has their own journey of what they think, but I just personally am starting to preach a little bit more that we should all slow down a little bit and, really make sure that we ourselves are secure physically, mentally, everything before starting new ventures like that. And for your 20s, it's time to test things. Like, you can test so many businesses in your 20s, and if it fails, you don't have kids to feed at the end of the day. So it's something like that where it's that pressure is not going to be on you. So it's something that I want to use my 20s to really test things and do different things. But some people like to maybe not be at the levels that we are all hoping to be at and all growing to be at. So yeah, that's my goal.
Absolutely. I admire your mindset. You have a question for Maya?
I admire you. You're amazing. So, as a woman, when we're doing business, do you feel like there's sometimes setback because even though it's 2023, they're still not accepting a woman can be really successful, even more successful than men sometimes, if we do choose to run a business.
Yeah, as a 23-year-old, I was in the whole dating world last year, and even dating was crazy to figure that out. Guys would feel so much pressure against me, and they would be like, even one of my ex-boyfriends and I broke up because he said my company changed me. It changed who I am and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, he was just jealous. He was insecure and jealous, and it was more so like, because it's not like me rubbing numbers and be like, why aren't you doing better? It was just me doing good, and he's like, why are you doing so good? And it's at the end of the day, I do think that that's still a problem, is that people maybe sometimes see that women should stay at home, but there's not a lot of men out there that can let their women stay at home. So it's kind of like, no.
So you felt like if as a woman you are more successful than a man, like I won't have any problem. Honestly, like if Lon makes more money than me, I told Lon, like Lon, one day if your company makes more money, I'll be a shipper. Like I'll go there, I'll pack a package, I'll clean your shoes. I have no problem.
What it is? Because only a real man can truly, not insecure.
It's the ego.
It's the ego that can really, be happy and fulfilled and excited for their wife. That's the real man.
Yeah.
Most men are not like that. They're very egoistic, where they need to be better, or if we're better, they're not happy. They're not fulfilled. There's a lot of men out there, but because you're secure, you're happy, you know what you got. And you're not egoistic like most of the men. Yeah. Honestly, as a woman, when we do business in any business field, it's really hard for even like the social world to even like accept us. Yeah. It's really hard.
Yeah. I think it's what I was actually talking last night with my boyfriend is the fact of, I see that for women, we kind of are more like closed in. Like there is a very masculine way that you do have to go about business, but then you have this balance of trying to be feminine as well, and allowing people to take lead and to do like things like that. But when you're in your business, you kind of have to take a very masculine role and make sure that shit's getting done. But then even when it comes to like just real world, like we were saying, when I'm here at events or, things with my dad where it's all men in the business, I can go up to somebody and say, hi, I'm Amaya Dami. I have a social media agency. And it's almost like, aw, that's so cute. Like, you know what I mean? Rather than,
this
yeah, and then you
serious,
can go, yeah, and we're making $50,000 a month. And then they're like,
Oh, wait a
oh,
second.
you know what
Wait
I
a
mean?
second. Let's
Like,
talk.
yeah,
Let's have a
exactly.
sit down, let's
like
talk.
we have
Yeah.
to literally, when we go to the business event with a bunch of men, we literally have to like
Play
So-
their game.
play their game.
Well,
like
yeah.
they're egoistic.
Well,
so I make 50,000. How much do you make?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Amaya, I mean, first off, I want to say congrats on all your success.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I'm
you.
saying, you know, your mindset's extremely powerful.
Yeah.
Because you got so much
Smart.
odds goes against you. You're young.
Yeah.
Right? As a woman.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's
when
hard.
people don't take you seriously, right?
Yeah.
And when you, even if you drop a number, people are like, oh, you know, you have to like, I think you would have to prove yourself more.
Yeah.
Right? So I admire you for that. Now, I want to ask you about the whole like, I know you're in the whole dating, the 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, because this whole thing been going around TikTok a lot about like the whole, you know, when dating a man, you know, going 50. What's your thought on the 50-50 split? Like,
Yeah.
hey, so splitting your bills 50s, not having the different bank account, same bank account. What's your take on that?
I think it's very interesting that that is like a new thing that people are starting to talk about now.
Okay.
I would say in a previous relationship, it was 50-50. I was paying half the rent. I was doing all this. I
Yep.
felt more like a roommate. And I felt like at the end of the day, I was still very more motivated and all this stuff. But again, I was also 18, 19.
Yep.
As I do grow into this like new woman era that
Yep.
I am in, I find that there's difference between a boy and a man. And I
Ooh.
think that that is really what it is that, like we said, a man isn't insecure. He'll love that his woman's doing amazing. Like that
he's
should be
so
a bare minimum.
Man.
Yeah. But a boy is going to be like a child. He's not going to want to I think a man wants to take care of his woman. He wants to provide in any way possible. So conversations I've personally had are, no matter what you're doing, I want to provide and I want to take care of you at the end of the day. I want you to feel comfortable with me. Like that is basically what a more traditional man is like. So I don't know, the 50-50 is not for me, even if I am making a ton of money, which I am, if I'm making way more money. Yeah, it's just not
I
50-50.
make so much more money, you know, but like I just, you know, like I feel like the man should be able to. I want to feel like he's providing, even though I'm making so much more. But I'd rather him pay all the bills. It's not because I can't afford it, because I want him to be a man as a man to provide. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know, but other girls are different. I don't know.
Yeah, I think also like it's not even like when they say, okay, then what are you doing? Because a lot of men, I posted a video that actually got 6 million on TikTok, and it was my boyfriend knocking on the door and bringing me flowers and writing me cards. And a lot of people were on there going, oh, well, what do you do for him?
Yep.
And I'm like, you saw a 5-second video of a man bringing me flowers and you're going to say, what do I do? But what do I do is like, if we are this married unit, I would be the one that is cleaning and that is cooking. I am a very traditional person as well. So it's not the fact of like, oh, give me everything, I'm going to just sit here and do nothing. And also, eventually, I do want to be a mother. And so that is a full-time job. And that would cause me to sacrifice my career at least some part.
Yep.
So I think it's very interesting how a lot of people, it's always a pendulum. So it's going to hit back to traditional men pretty soon. And then people will start to take it a little bit more seriously then. But
Yeah, it's like, you know, like, man, there's so many things to talk about. Like the whole, like, I understand you're just dating and the whole marriage thing, but I also want to address this because I grew up, like, Lon and I are very, very, like, I'm an old soul. Like, I'm a very traditional man. Like, I grew up, like, watching, like, the Chinese where the hero take care of their, like, they would sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, you are you're the roof, right?
Yeah.
You make sure that you suffer, like, or, like, if there's a bullet, you'll be the one that actually take the bullet.
Yeah.
If there's the last glass of water, you're the last one to drink it. But it's not about saying, oh, I'm thirsty, but I'm going to give it to you. I think that's not really a man. A man is to be like, no, I'm full. Like, because you don't want your partner to feel like, oh, okay. Because when you say, I'm hungry, but it's okay, you can eat it, I still think that's not a real man. Because you think your wife would let you starve?
Yeah, no.
So when you say that, but you shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You should say, you know what, I'm good. I already ate. You should eat it. See, I grew up seeing my dad does that for my mom, and he does that for the kids.
Yeah.
So I think as a man, you should say that. So your wife will be happy eating it, knowing that you're already good.
Yeah.
Because you think she would enjoy that, knowing that you're not good and you're leaving that for her? She's not.
No.
But you don't care about that. You want her to be taken care of.
yeah.
So my whole thing now is like the whole prenup. What's your thought about that?
You know what's interesting is that I think a lot of people look at it as a man pushing it on a woman.
Right.
But when it comes to a successful woman, you kind of start thinking about it a little differently of, well, I've got to, like, my ass has to be saved too.
Yep.
But then there's also that negative connotation of we're prepping for divorce. And so that's something that will be interesting when I get to it. I have had conversations with my current partner, and he's actually totally against it. He's like, no, like, I'm not, like, divorce is out of my vocab. I'm not going to get divorced with you because divorce rates are insane these days. And that's just something that I personally do is I date to marry. If I'm dating you, it's because I think I'm going to marry you. Like, it's not like I do a whole process and a whole checklist, and I make sure, like, this is going to be my person. I'm not wasting my time. I'd rather be alone than wasting my time. So if I'm even in that dating, like, going on dates period, I'm checking my boxes. I'm making sure everything's good while also me making sure I'm good and I'm ready for a relationship like that. But yeah, my current partner is currently the first person who I've dated who's been like, you know, like, divorce is out of my vocab. Like, I don't believe in that. I'm not, like, we are going to work however we can. I mean, if there's cheating or anything like that, but if you have a good solid foundation, you shouldn't be out here doing other things. But it'll be interesting as we continue to grow.
I gotta say, sitting here doing this interview with you, and I gotta say, this has got to be the best, absolute best interview I ever had.
Thank you.
And it truly gives me goosebumps because
How smart you are.
because most Gen Z don't talk like you. I've never met a 20-something-year-old talk like you and have the mindset like you. That's bring us back to where we were. Because Lon's all about that. Lon's like, dude, like you know, people are out there just dating around. Oh, you know what? I'm young. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have. Dude, no, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Be selective.
Yeah.
And I think, you know,
As a woman, we need to be more selective.
right.
Very.
Because so Lon is all about, like, being a woman. Like, you gotta have your value. You gotta have your standard. You want to talk about that a little bit, Lon?
I think she already covered it all.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, just being a high value woman, like we said. Yeah.
Yeah, won't settle for what's less than what you are, and just say no to things sometimes. You know, you don't have to say yes to everything that you bring on. Sometimes you open a can of worms. You can just reject things. As a woman, we can reject stuff. We don't need to, like, be so nice and like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. Learn how to say no.
Yeah. Just like there's a little bit of high value men out there, there's a little bit of high value women out there.
Absolutely.
And that's the reason why they are able to connect so well, is because we have different ways of thinking, different ways of our minds thinking, and other people might think it's extreme or crazy or things like that. But at the end of the day, everybody believes their own things, and you just gotta continue to go with what you believe, even though we know it's right.
So I think when I say this, I think a lot of guys out there is going to disagree with me, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So for me, like, the whole thing is a whole prenup. Like, one, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is, like, I believe in, just like you said, it's like you're setting yourself up for, like, the divorce, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's all, you know, I get comment all the time when I do a video with Lon. Oh, you know, she's here for your money. She's going to leave you, take all the money. You know what I told Lon when I first said it? I said, and this was when we're broke too. I said, Lon, like, if anything ever happens, right? If we ever split or whatever it is, I want Lon to have everything. I want to walk out of there empty.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that she's taken care of. But then they'll be like, well, what if she loses it? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because to me, you know what? Because to me, I love her. Right? And if she ever does something wrong, shame on her. But I don't want to be walking out and be like, oh yeah, I'm taking this, have it.
Yeah.
You know what? Have it. All the love that I ever gave you, have it all.
Yeah.
I'll walk out of there, I'll start all over again. Because you can take everything away from me, but you can't take all the knowledge and everything that I got already built.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, why, as a man, like, why would you even fight over those pennies?
Yeah.
Have it. You know, because
like split the dinner.
because for me, Amaya,
The first day, split the dinner.
Yeah.
you know,
crazy.
because for me, it's like, that's the love that I have, like, for the wife. If anything happens, I still have the love for you, but I want to make sure that you go do you then.
Yeah.
Right? Be happy, take it, have it. I'll walk out there empty-handed because I know I can start all over again.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter to me.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the people that are probably commenting that don't have enough money to worry about having that certification anyways.
Knowledge
No.
to create more. more.
No. And so that's maybe people, if they're going into a relationship being like, oh, well, what if you're going to take everything from me
Yeah.
and da-da-da or
You're
whatever.
probably in the wrong one.
Yeah, you probably should reevaluate yourself, your partner, everything else in that.
Yep.
Because if you are a stable couple enough
Correct.
where your goal is never a divorce, like that
Yep.
is the literal worst thing that I could ever
Right.
think of, that has been so normalized recently. But if that is what you walk into, you're kind of writing already your future. You're kind of manifesting that. Because
Absolutely.
at that point, you're like, oh, well, you know what? We're not even going to work on it. We have this paper. I'm safe. You're safe. Let's just call it quits. Like, we're not even going to continue to work.
Amaya, I got another question for you, and I think I did this video, and I think it got like almost 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, do you believe in opposite sex have opposite friend? Like a guy, like your boyfriend can have a girlfriend, you can have a boyfriend, or I'm saying like a friend, like opposite sex.
Like a
as
boy
friend.
best friend or a
Yeah,
girl
correct,
best friend.
Correct. What's your take on that?
Personally, like, I just don't understand why you would.
Yeah.
Your partner should be your best friend.
Yeah, and it's like, I just couldn't imagine what it would feel like of being like, oh, bye, honey, I'm going to go hang out with my boy best friend tonight,
Yeah,
and I'm
wow,
going to go
I'm
get
gonna
dinner
go
with
hang
him.
out with- yeah.
Like, no, like, that's just, there's a respect there that you should have for your partner.
Yeah.
And I think that having this best friend, we've seen how it all works out.
Yep.
They always end up being with the best
Correct.
friend because they
Yep.
think it's prettier on that side because
Yep.
they're not fighting, they're not having that
Correct.
emotional
Oh, God.
connection, but they're best friends. So no, I don't really think, I think that you could be friends with like my friends and I could be friends with
Yep.
your friends.
But it's
like
always
definitely
together. It's
like
never alone.
one-on-ones is wild. That would be wild. I think that
Man.
that's just not no.
Like I don't think people don't understand, like on the guy side. When a guy like saying, "Oh yeah, you know, I'm your best friend. I'm not gonna do anything. Trust me, dude."
Yeah.
They're waiting for something to happen,
Yup.
and then they'll creep in. They'll be the guy that
They're
they'll be
helping you and
the
make you
girl's
feel
gonna
better.
fall,
The girl
and
will
then
do the
cry.
Yup.
Same thing, right? They're always waiting for the moment to be able to come in, and then waiting for that moment for their girl to fall on, to cry and say, "Hey, I got you."
Yeah.
How dare he does that? Like I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you know.
Yeah, it's
So-
not, shouldn't be a normal thing for that
yeah.
either. And I think, like we said, we have these things like no boy best friends or no girl best
Yep.
friends or opposite sex friends or things like that, or no prenups and things like
Yep.
that that is such a strong and wild opinion.
Yep.
But it's just, that's the reason why we're here.
Right.
And that's the reason why we're not commenting on videos saying
Yep.
da 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 da.
Yep.
Like there's a reason why you're here
Yep.
and they're here.
And you know what? Go back to the whole, like, you know, having the same bank account, all that. Like, I grew up seeing my mom and dad, and majority of the people that I see that are financially pretty well success, you know, in a good place, is they have the same bank account together. They hold each other accountable. It's the brother and sister that I see that has separate bank account is the one that's falling apart financially. Oh, you go spend your money, I'll spend my money. You do your thing, I'll do your thing. Like, no one holding each other accountable. Everybody, right? Like, to me, I question that. I was like, so you together or you separate?
Right.
Like, if you, like, are you guys together now? Where you know that, hey, this is it. We're in this whole thing together. We put a pot together. We look at it, right? And then we hold each other accountable, right? We use this. You use this. Well, you know what I mean. And then we have the same goals.
Yeah.
Because if we're using separate, I don't care what she does with her money. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go do my thing, right?
Right.
And then so if she does something wrong, you're gonna jump in and support her. You'll be like, oh no, you know what? You messed up, dude. That's your problem.
Right.
Like, are you like? Are you married? Are you a couple? Are you husband and wife? Or are you just really just in the boyfriend, girlfriend, and dating?
Right.
So I never understand that.
No, I don't understand that either. I think it's something that is more new. I feel like maybe I don't even really think it would be my generation because, like I said, there's some people getting married out there and things like that. But I think that they're so young and they don't even understand what they're doing, and that is why divorce rates are high. Probably is because these people get together, ha ha he he, when they're young, and then when they're old and shit gets real, and they're realizing, oh my god, we don't have enough money for the kid that we just had at 22 or whatever.
Really big wedding.
Yeah.
They can't really afford. They're still paying the debt.
Yeah, or their parents paid for it, so then
Yeah.
they don't even really understand the value of what just happened,
Yeah.
or that they could have put that towards a down payment to their house or
yeah.
things like that.
Call it a wedding and
Yes.
just, you know.
Yeah, I think that it's sad to see people go that route, but I hope that, you know, with what you're saying and what we're all saying, that people can kind of see it more and be like, okay, let's kind of
Make a better
plan this out, you know, and not rush in at things and do everything, because at the end of the day, those are very big decisions that you need to be making, and hopefully people are taking a little bit more time than 5 seconds to just whatever, haha, and do things like that.
Awesome, Amaya. I'm gonna steer this into another direction. Is that so? So why did you choose not to go to college and pursue entrepreneurship?
Yeah. So when I started going to college, I graduated in 2019 from high
okay.
school. And so right after that, I went to a community college that was right down the street from my house.
Yep.
And COVID. That is basically what happened. COVID hit, and I was doing a little marketing apprenticeship thing during this time. They laid me off immediately. Like, they were like, go home. We have no work for you. Just go home. And I stayed home for a while. My dad was one of those like high risk people at that time, what we thought. So we didn't want to take any risks. So we all stayed home and basically bunkered down. Day 2 of that, I was so unbelievably bored. I got a job the day I turned 16, and I've been working every day since the day I turned 16. Even before that, I actually have a picture of me at 8 years old working at a dog store. Like, I've just been working every single day, basically, and I love it.
A hustler.
Yes, basically.
Born a hustler.
Yes.
Just like Lon, just like me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so during COVID, day 2, I was doing online school, and I was also doing just like sitting at home wondering, if my job can just drop me like that, then what's going to happen if I'm, again, like 30 and I have a full job? And then if this happens again, they're just going to send me home. And then what is going to happen to my family? What's going to happen to my kids?
Wow.
Like, it's just that thinking comes to you of nothing is secure unless you are the one in charge. So I realized that really in 2020, I started obtaining social kind of as like a blog of what I'm learning about social media. Because at first I didn't do any money. I didn't do it for any money.
Right.
I just wanted to figure out what I could do.
Right.
And from there, I started gaining clients. And at the end of the day, when I dropped out of college was around November of 2020. I took one thing away at a time. I think that's something that people don't really see, is that I was serving. I had this marketing job. I was going to school. I was nannying. I was doing so many things. And I had obtained social. So I had 5 things going. And I just took one away as obtaining social needed more of my full attention.
Yep.
People kind of think to just quit everything and just jump into it. But for me, it was, no, we're going to do this steady and stable and plan.
You sound exactly like Lon.
Yeah.
She's more a conservative risk taker.
Yeah.
I'm more like, shit, let's just go all in.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure our ducks are in a row
Yeah.
before we do
Yep.
anything else.
Lon-
That's
Yes.
the girls' thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I remember, so Lon didn't allow me to quit my JO to B until our house was almost paid off and we had like a couple hundred G's sitting in the bank.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I was still grinding there.
Like
Like,
the business didn't go good, and then we
Yeah.
have this mortgage. I'm like, no, you have to have a cushion to sit on when it's rainy days.
Yes.
I remember almost like every month I asked Lon, I was like, Lon, when can I quit? I think we have enough now. When can I quit? Lon's like, your time will come.
Yeah.
Very soon. I was like, Lon, it's been like almost a year.
Yeah.
She's like, it will come.
Yeah. And I think that is like just the planning behind it. And that's why men and women, when they get together and create that unionship and that partnership, it is more of they want to go and run and do everything. And then you're like, let's sit, let's think, let's really plan. And then you balance. You do the good balance.
Girls' thing.
But
Yes.
Smart one.
Yes.
But the thing is, I absolutely do agree with you regarding the whole thing. When people reach out to me about like wholesaling too, or starting a business, hey Khang, I got a JOB, I'm sick and tired of it, man. I just want to drop and go, man. I say one is that, do you have a 6 to 12 month reserve? Like, do you have the cash to reserve to pay for your daily lifestyle? Do you have a family? You have kids? Like, dude, man up. Like, dude, suck it up. As a man, dude, suffer. Suck it up, dude. You have to grind an extra. If you have to grind 13, 14 hours a day just to do it, which means you get off the JOB, spend 4 to 5 hours, right, grinding on this side hustle until it works, until it produces results.
Yeah.
But don't put your family through the pain, man. Like, you're living paycheck to paycheck, and you're like, oh, man. To me, I think that's, I don't know if I used the right word, am I? Coward. I don't know if I used the right word, but to me, dude, you do it for yourself. You're like, I'm tired of this, so I'm just gonna do it for myself and not care about your family.
Yeah.
So you don't think about your kids. You don't think about your family, dude. Like, you're gonna put your wife through this whole, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Now you're not got an income. You're just trying to, hopefully this side hustle will work. Like, you don't even know, right? So for me, it's making sure that, dude, make sure that it works. You're getting some revenue coming in, and until that side hustle can really like take over right? Your JOB income, that's when the time where you actually make the move and actually go. I don't believe in jump with both feet and see what happens. Now, if you're single, if you're 20s, that's fine. Okay, if you want to do that and you want to sleep in a car, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right? But if when you're in a relationship, you have a family, have kids, it's whole different stories.
Definitely.
And it goes back to just what you said when you're in your 20s. You're able to take more risk.
Yeah.
Especially when you're single too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and during that time, I was just really wanting to grind and really grind hard. I did move out at 19, so I had this rent over my head that I did know I needed to pay, but thankfully that was kind of the only thing at the end of the day that I needed to do was pay my rent, get gas. You know, I wasn't living this extremely luxurious life, so I had bare minimums that I needed to do. So being able to drop off one by one and being able to be like, okay, I don't need a nanny anymore, or now I don't need to do this anymore, it made that go very easily and made me be actually more motivated, because I was like, I really want, like you said, I really want to do this. I want to go full throttle on this. And then once you kind of do that suffering in the beginning, then you're going to be more appreciative of the time that you do have when you're full-time in your own company. And you're going to want to work so hard. So, yeah.
I think that's going to be like a 2 hours, because I got a lot of stuff to ask about. So my next question to you is, I hear people talk about this all the time, and I want to hear your perspective, you know, being you just, you know, you with your business and all that. What do you think about the whole work-life balance? Does that even exist?
Yeah, I think it can exist to a point. With me, that is something that I really wanted to focus on this year when it hit 2022. Or no, 2023. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
well, this year, not going into next year, my New Year's goal for 2023 was finding work-life balance. So that was something that I just needed to sit down and really figure out. But I think that you can't, for me, I didn't have a work-life balance when I'm really going and trying and going and getting it hard. Once you start finally like figuring it out, like year 3, like I'm going into, I am still figuring out a work-life balance, but being able to plan out your life more correctly. You know, you can figure out those things, but in the beginning it was overnights I was working, and it was, you know, just nonstop constant, which can burn you out. But for me, I like hustle culture, but I know that a lot of people hate like talking about it, but it's just something that you got to do in the beginning. You're really grinding it out and you're really trying to make what you have work.
You know, I think only the people that actually start from the bottom really understand that when you first start out, there is no such thing as work-life balance.
No, yeah.
Basically, you just have to make the sacrifice. You're talking about 10, 12, 13 hours, 14, 16, 18 hours a day.
Yeah.
Right? Just to build your business from the bottom up. Only the people that start from the bottom will understand, right? There is no such thing. So don't try to figure that out when you're like trying to go from the J-O to the B.
Yeah.
You know, you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids. Like, you got to sit down, you got to talk to your wife. Like, something got to sacrifice, because that business going to need your attention. It's going to need your attention. You're going to put everything you got into it to really, it's, you know, I tell people, you know, starting a business is like having a kid.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to look at that thing until it can walk and it can run. Then you kind of like, you still have to look at it, right? But then, correct.
Because it's a little
and then once you
sufficient
once you have accumulate, once you get to a certain point, you're like, right, okay, you know what? My daily life got, you know, my daily expenses being taken care of. I got a team, I got systems, I got everything in place. Then now you can talk about having that work-life balance. How can I just not work smarter and not just harder?
Yeah.
But everybody, what they do is they just want to work smart.
Yeah.
When you first start, dude, you cannot work smart because you got nothing. All you got is time. You're trading your time for that money, period. So there's no such thing as, oh, I'm just going to sit back and work smart.
The only time when you can work smarter is that you have the money
to
hire out,
you leverage.
And go to mastermind and learn more so that you can be more efficient and work smarter. When you don't have money, you have no choices but to
work
grind.
hard.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's the same thing. I think all these people, all these like things that we don't believe in all fall into the same category of what that type of person, that's their makeup. It's the ones that don't want to grind, the ones that are, oh, well, you know, I should prepare myself with the prenup, or, oh, well, I should do, like all these things I really do think fit into one type of person. There's this A person and there's this B person. And for us, we're this B person. It makes so much sense. But, you know, not everyone can be that. And that's good for us at the same time, too, because then we're those people that are out there hustling. We're making those sacrifices. We're doing this just for people. Probably at the end of the day, I hear it all the time, like, oh, well, you were just given this and da-da-da, where I'm like, no, actually, I have been self-sufficient since the day I turned 16. So, I've never gotten a penny from my parents since then. And everything's just been me and figuring it out. And for my birthday, I was excited to get a job. Like, that's something that I feel like is still missing. Like, there's people out there that get gifted cars from their families and they have to do all this. Like, no, I had to stop playing sports, which maybe I'll change when I'm a parent. I don't know if I necessarily agree on that one, but I had to stop playing softball and soccer, and I got a job the day I turned 16, and I was working every single day during high school, and I wasn't going to the football games. I wasn't going to any of these kind of things because my whole goal was to work, and I knew this day would come one day where I would be an entrepreneur and doing it since I was 8 years old working.
Wow.
But, it's just, you just have to make those sacrifices, and
I love it.
Yeah.
So, like my whole thing, the only there's more down to things about being an entrepreneur, but I can tell you one thing that's really, there's a pro and a con.
Yeah.
The downside of being an entrepreneur is you can never shut this off.
Yeah.
If you're just a W-2, a regular employee mindset, they shut off. Once they clock out, they shut off.
Yeah.
Right? They go home, they chill, they just don't care. They care less. But as an entrepreneur, you can't shut this thing off. It's constantly working. So sometimes it's hard for you to really be in the moment and enjoy.
Yeah.
Because once you hit a certain milestone, you'll be like once you close a big deal, you work so hard for that big deal, you'll be like, man, when I get that, I'll take a break, but you don't.
Yeah.
Once you hit it, all of a sudden, boom, like I can get bigger deal. Like Lon's like, oh man, I only sold 800. I want to do 8,000 now, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it just get bigger, and then you just don't be able to shut it down, really enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Like someone just clock out and they'll be done.
Yeah, I think that, it just comes with what we want to do. And I used to be a barista one time, and sometimes I always think back and go, just wish I had barista problems again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those problems of just clock in and somebody talked mean to me one time maybe, and that was the worst day. You know what I mean? And then, but now like a worst day is way more than that.
Right.
And it's way more stressful and way more taxing on you. But I love the challenge, I love figuring it out. Like I could get thrown where I could have 0 clients and it's all right, I'm going to figure this out. And I could even say, nobody work right now. I need to just zone in and I need to work and I'm going to figure it out myself. So sometimes when I do say, I want barista problems, I then realize, no, I don't. You know what I mean? I want big problems that result in big money at the end of the day.
And I think earlier what you just mentioned, I think that's what Lon too. Lon's like, dude, she always wanted to be in control for her company.
Yeah.
So she wants to know all the ins, all the outs, what's going on, what's happening. Like she want to know how she can do all of that so she doesn't depend on anybody.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you don't do it,
I cross-train everybody in my company so that if one of them's missing, I say goodbye. If you want to quit, go ahead.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's cross-trained.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll come in, I'll do it, or I'll train someone because I already know how to do it. So you're not vulnerable to your business.
Yeah.
You're not vulnerable to, push over by
your
like
employee.
a really
I'm
good
sorry.
company person that, in your company that's doing really good. And
Yeah.
you're not vulnerable. You just know how to do everything. And with or without them, you will succeed no matter what.
So Amaya, I watch, growing up, I watched a lot of Chinese movie, right? So obviously as a king, you don't need to know how to do everything, right? But as a king too, is obviously know how to find talent, hire them, and put them in the right position. But what's the most powerful thing about the king is when they come in and they're able to take over your empire, is because you gave them too much power. That's the thing. So he always diversifies his power. Like not one, I don't know.
Let's say if you have 4 of them, it's like cross-trained basically. Let's say the company, 4 powerful people that's help you run the company, right? Let's say the company's really big, you can't do it yourself. 4 of them. Like you never want to have just one of them to have all the power.
Yeah.
You want to diversify the power.
Because then you'll be so vulnerable to them.
Yeah.
Right?
If they're like, or they sick, or they get run over by a bus, what are you gonna do? Like Coca-Cola, he have 2 main guys that knows ingredients. They cannot fly together. They always have to fly separate just in case if the plane crashes or something.
But
to the Coca-Cola recipe.
But then it's not just that as well. It's like, if they know that your company is so depending on them. They'll act up. They'll act up.
Yeah.
They'll ask for it. They don't ask, but they demand. I want to raise. I want to do this. I want to that.
No, they don't say the raise. I want this.
Yeah, like basically they
this.
demand.
Yeah. And that's what's good about having my dad be in a business as well,
Yeah.
is I've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
So I learned from it, and I'm able to see like certain types of people that he'll have that I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't agree with that. Or, just things like that where
Yeah.
it's great. Like that is something that I do have a pro and an advantage of, is having a dad that is so much of an entrepreneur and that is so inspiring to look up to. But it's kind of cool getting at a level where we're kind of at the same place, definitely not income wise. He's doing very insanely well versus me, but having a dad that in 2019, he started an advertising agency. 2020, I started a marketing agency. Totally didn't even know that he was doing that too, because he's outside working every day. And I was like, Dad's working. I don't know what he's doing, but he's working. And then we eventually were like, we're kind of doing marketing and we're kind of doing the same thing. Interesting. But learning from him has been great. I've never bought a course or anything like that. It's all been self-taught, but at the same time, learning from my dad. But I think making sure your employees are in check and they know, like, you're not, like, you are very great help and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it's your company and you have to be protective over it. And if somebody's going to come in and ruin your dynamic in any type of way, they're gone.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next thing is, do you have mentors? Or no? Or kind of like...
I guess my dad would be my main mentor. Nice. And then I have more people that I see from afar, I would say, like Lauren Bostic. Have you ever heard of Lauren Bostic? Amazing. She's actually my number one person that I look up to as a female entrepreneur. I just met her in February at Magic actually, and she had this whole panel about running a company. So she's not only running her big company, she has a podcast with her husband as well. So they have a great podcast together that I listen to. That's the only podcast I listen to actually. Wow. It's amazing. They have all these different people come on, but she's doing so amazingly well, and she's also a mom and has 2 kids. So, that's something I definitely look up to, is because I'm like, how are you balancing all of this, No. So here, I'll show you. It's actually...
I gotta say that right now with this interview here, I think that you are going to motivate and inspire a lot of women out there, Gen Z or even older one. Long got inspired by everything that you have accomplished, especially being able to sit down and kind of know your mindset.
And I know that Khang have interviewed a lot of men.
Yeah, right? You've seen a lot of it. Definitely.
And it's like, we need some, awesome, successful, intelligent woman like you on.
Thank you. Yeah.
That can inspire other women to be.
Yeah, it's a small niche. It's a very, very small niche of women in business. And I think that was my whole goal in the beginning, was to make sure that women know that, you can do it too. And at a point where even at 20 years old, when people, like I said, they look at me and it's, aw, so cute that you're doing that. But if it was a 20-year-old and they were able to articulate themselves the way I can, and they run business the way I can, and they came here or came anywhere with men around, it would be, oh my gosh, you have to see this guy, like, he's amazing, just because he's a boy, know? But so that's something I definitely want to break, that stigma of being like, no, there's women out here that are 10 times more powerful than a lot of men that they know, and that are really kicking ass, and that are able to do even more, be full-on mothers while also running a company, while also running a podcast, while also doing, like, it's just, the possibilities are endless. And I think she has a very good support system, her husband, obviously. So same thing with you guys. You guys are able to support each other, and there's no power dynamic of he must be doing better or something like that. He wants to motivate you to do better. And I think that those couples you'll see, and it's like power couple, and those are just people that are going to thrive. And at the end of the day, that's what's needed for women, is have a man that isn't insecure, who is able to be like, hey, I love seeing you thrive. I love seeing you do this.
Or give you ideas on it. Instead of like, why are you doing better than me? I'm just not happy. Or,
or even being a woman as we are. And if we are with this kind of guy who isn't motivated like us or isn't like that, like, I've had conversations where I'm like, why am I sitting here with my own boyfriend? Not my current boyfriend, obviously, I've learned, but like previous boyfriends where I'm like, I have this great idea, or I'll talk, and they're just like, what, And then my current boyfriend now is like so invested and so involved in like, wow, that's a great idea. Am I like, yeah, you should do this. And what do you think about this? And like hearing my input and like actually caring, because he sees my value, And so, making sure that you find a good power couple. That's the only way you're going to be able to continue and really push each other to continue to grow.
Yeah, and grow together in relationship also.
Yeah.
And I just want to touch base on that before we end this. And I truly believe that the only person, if you find the right one, truly the person that wants to see you win the most is your partner.
Yeah.
Should be your partner.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. Oh, you're winning more. I'm not winning more. Dude, come on now, right?
Yeah.
So your partner is the only one that's probably rooting for you the most. That's why when I do a video, I say when you found, the right one. So in my case, I say when you find yourself the right girl, the one that's gonna ride and dine with you, that's gonna go through all the tough time, man. You make sure that you take care of her and take care of her well, regardless of what people out there say about you, right, dude? That's
the person that you be spending the rest of your life with.
Yeah.
I don't know if you take care of them well,
So basically one time this guy, I can't remember what he said. I can't remember the exact word he said. He said about, is your mom gonna be, or is your parents gonna be the one that go to sleep with you every night?
Yeah.
No, it's your partner. That's
Yeah.
the one that's gonna be, at the end of the day, it's gonna be the one that's sleeping on the same bed as you until you die.
Yeah.
Right? So yes, families is very important, right? But there's gonna be time when you're gonna build your own family.
Yeah.
And that one is just gonna be more important when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I love my mom and dad, but they're not gonna the one that's gonna grow old and die with me and sleep in the same bed. That's gonna sleep, wake up in the same one.
Right. So you got to make sure you protect what's yours for
Absolutely.
sure at the end
so
of the day.
Maya, let's wrap this up. Once again, how can people stay connected with you throughout the whole entire social media platform, and let people know where all the social media platform that you're on?
Yeah, so my business, Obtaining Social, that's on Instagram and TikTok. You'll be able to find us easily there. And then my personal brand is Amaya Dammy, so it'll probably be on the screen somewhere, but both those are for Instagram and TikTok. My personal brand is just more my life, so if you like seeing more of the behind the scenes, the lifestyle, what I'm doing, and get a little glimpse of maybe even some funny videos here and there, that's what you'll find there. Obtaining Social, you'll find more of our content shoots, a lot more of tips and tricks on social media. I don't sell any courses myself, it's just all education. I just don't like doing that. It's just kind of boring to me. I just like working on content.
Sound like lawn.
Yeah, it's just like, you just like to, it's easier to educate. But yeah, so you'll see all the education there. And yeah, hope to find some more people that are in your network, hopefully some women that will start following along with us as well and be able to make that merge. And we'll have like our own little community of women that are very strong.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I love it. So anyways, you guys, I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoy this interview as much as I am. I think this is probably one of the best interviews that I've ever done. And being able to sit with like a Gen Z that has the mindset of like a Gen D, I don't know, like she's at a whole nother level when it comes to like mindset, being in the age that she is. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. I'll see you guys on the next one.
That was perfect.
Yep, we'll wrap it up.
She's gonna text you the information
Yeah.
so you can put it in the link. So
Oh, Lauren, so why don't you guys exchange numbers?
Yeah. Let's do it. Oh, here.
So we did this new thing, Maya, did you know? Where we just put our phone together and we exchange numbers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, hold on a second. You guys want to remove that? Oh, okay, fine. It's already done. I was going to record it, but sorry. It's already done. Okay, hold on.
Wait, cancel? Receive only?
All right.
Okay.
So here's the new thing for the Gen Z. Boom. Now they got each other the contact info just like that.
Perfect. I got yours. I think I just have to set it up. You're like more advanced on this than me.
No, I'm not. I just learned it from Jay.
We just learned it from Jay.
Really?
Yeah. But honestly, I gotta say this is one of the most powerful interview. It's absolutely. I think that I have to go home and then turn it into a podcast. Like it'll be my first podcast.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna turn this into a podcast. My podcast it's gonna be called Money Talks and Bullshit Walk.
That's awesome. And I was gonna have a podcast too because my name, obviously my last name is Dammy, so it's gonna be like Give a Damn.
Oh.
Maya Dammy. It'll be like everything I give a damn about.
Yep, I love that.
It's hard doing those podcasts.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Mine is not going through.
Is it not? And I don't know if
Mine is not.
But yeah, I gotta say that you definitely open up my mind as far as seeing like, getting customers.
Yeah.
More quality instead of quantity.
So maybe you can just send me your.
No, that's solid. So solid.
Yeah, it's definitely like, and I honestly, with magic themselves, it's like, We do management for them for every single month. We do 15,000, and then events are about like 20 to 30,000
Wow.
for 2 days.
Wow.
I just go there 2 days. I create content, and it's just something that I've worked with them for over a
course.
year now, so I've been
Nice.
able to build that trust.
Nice.
But I'd rather do that than have some. I've had like I've had a spray tanning salon in
Yeah.
Arizona. I redid their lobby. I redid their website. I redid every single aspect of their company. I wrote their employees their checkout list, what
Right.
they have to do before they check out. I basically did her business.
Right.
And I was only charging her $1,500 a month, and she wasn't even paying that. She was paying like $750, and she told me it's not worth it.
Oh, wow.
I don't think that this is worth it. And I was doing all over social media. She's like, I don't think like it's worth it. Like it's just not worth it for my company. I was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And that's why I had to come redo
I
all
agree
your
with you.
company
Yep.
as a 20-year-old.
Yep.
Because you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? That was my last straw.
Yeah,
I was like,
Amaya, like I wish. Oh, thank God it's still rolling.
Yeah.
I want to capture that because
Yeah.
that is raw and real.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, Amaya, that they don't understand the bigger pictures, the bigger picture, that they're stepping over dollars for pennies. Oh my God, I'm paying you this amount.
Yeah.
Do you know the potential what I can make you?
Yeah.
Come on, man,
It's
shit.
ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, people just really that's why I have joined into those big companies like you
Right.
said. I think a lot of people are realizing that, and that's just part of growth in a company.
Right.
You know, like you'll take whatever you can in the
Right.
beginning, and then you're like, this fucking sucks.
Yep.
Like, why are there so many people? Like, the $500 client is going to call me 20 times a week.
Yep.
And why isn't this done? Why isn't this done? Why
Yep.
isn't that done? Or I don't agree with this.
Yep.
Da, da, da. Where my $20, $30, $40, $50,000 a
Yep.
month client will be like, awesome.
Yep.
Talk to you next month. And that's it. Because it's like they trust you and
Yep.
their money is in it.
Correct.
But they have enough money to do it.
Yep, Amaya, that brought me to this point. You listen to Alex Hamosi or Layla Hamosi?
Yeah, I have a few friends that like work for him too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what he said like got me at another level of thinking. He said if you take 10% of $1 million, not much.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take 10% of the guy that only has 10%, that's a lot of money to him.
Yeah.
Right? So if he had $1,000 in the bank and you take $500 from him, that's 50% of what he got.
That is so true, yeah.
Correct. But he said if you charge someone that has 100,000, 10,000, you're taking just 10%. So they don't really care, right? So that's what he was saying. He's saying more of like, focus. That's why he said, he said if you focus on that, he said that you're just making more revenue and it's become less of a headache. So,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's very interesting.
The way he said it, it's just
it's
like
just
interesting.
part of growth for
Yeah.
sure. Like,
What other shows do you go to?
I go to CG, but then for my client space, it's just magic right now. But I'm really hoping to tap into like.
You should try
the
to.
whole
Have you
thing.
heard of Costco?
Yes,
beauty.
and that's actually part of the whole thing that they live under in Corona.
Okay.
So I'm really trying to tap into that. because
That one,
really
I
want-
think it's in June in Vegas, but they have
Okay.
another one in Miami in January.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I just want events. I really love events.
Yeah.
Like, I was even thinking for this event, being like, hey, I can do it, but I don't want to work with them. Like, I don't want to do
Dude, that was such a solid interview, bro. We
capture
capture all of that?
Because I'm like,
Dude, that's amazing, bro. Dude, if you tell me the audio, one time I got